Overtaking has to be safe and it has to be legal. And here we have our rider looking for an overtaking situation. Obviously, he needs to make sure he doesn't overtake near a junction, near a hazardous area on a bend, where there's poor road surfaces, where he's going to compromise the safety of other road users. He's having a look, but clearly the overtake is certainly not on at this moment in time. If he moved himself over to the left-hand side more, he might get a view up the near side, because at the moment there's a good view, and if he got out now, he'd be able to see clearly down the offside of that vehicle a lot sooner than he did. But he's out there, made good progress, checking his mirrors, and he's back over onto the safe side of the road. Here our rider is following a bus and a car, clearly looking for an opportunity now to overtake because of the speed of the bus. Could have got out to have a quick look down the offside there, but decided to stay in his normal riding position. I hope he's got himself a responsive gear for this, because it's probably going to need it. And he's out there now, so he's doing it quite legally as well, so we haven't broken the speed limit. He's had a good view ahead of him, and that was a pretty good clean overtake there. So our rider is now following slow-moving traffic. You see the road sign on the left-hand side there is telling us that there's a junction coming up on the right. Our rider looks like he's going to attempt to do some filtering. This is not a particularly safe place to do filtering. I hope he doesn't, but it looks like he's going to. And what he's done here is he's actually put himself at risk. There could be a driver in front of that lorry that suddenly decides to make a right turn. But on this occasion, he's actually got past safely. So we're joining a dual carriageway. This time we've got a lot of slow-moving traffic, some of that traffic stationary. Our rider's approaching the end of the slip road and is checking behind, giving a signal, which is good. Got eye contact with the driver behind, who's allowed him into the space. A little bit of slow control there, a bit imbalanced, but he's managed to pick his speed up now. And now he's looking for filtering between lines of stationary and slow-moving traffic. Now he does seem to be going in here a little bit quick, considering the space that he's actually got. A little bit of a weave and a wobble there as he's pushing himself through, watching the door mirrors and the overhang on other vehicles. That was nice to see that driver pull across, and that was nice, a nice wave there. Just a bit of courtesy goes a long way. We're now coming up to the roundabout, so I wonder where he's going to end up. Has he found himself a space? He's given a signal. He's signalling to other road users that he wants to use that space. That was good. Back to the sports bike rider now, filtering on a two-way. Little nod there for the oncoming motorcyclist. That was good. And he's continuing now to slowly filter past the slower traffic on the left. It's nice to see these drivers creating more space for our rider as he slowly passes them. Looking out ahead for oncoming motorcyclists as well, there's a danger that they could be filtering, so he's doing a good job here. And I hope he's seen the sign for the roundabout, so that gives him the opportunity to get back in before the hazard. Overtaking is one of the high-risk areas for motorcyclists. It's crucial that you make the right decisions. Looking at it again, here, to gain as much information as possible, the rider could have moved out as the trainer has done, to gain a much better view, which is crucial to making the right decision. When doing this, make sure your position allows you to see far enough ahead to pull out safely. In this situation, before moving out, the rider should check to the near side and offside of the bus to gain as much information as possible. Checking ahead and behind with a responsive gear, he's now able to accelerate briskly and safely past the slower moving traffic. Failing to take proper all-round observation and making the wrong decision can lead to disastrous results. Filtering is another form of overtaking. It requires great care and could expose you to additional risks. In this situation, the rider has decided to filter past slower moving traffic in a particularly hazardous area. What he hasn't taken into account are these risks: drivers who suddenly decide that they want to turn right, drivers emerging from the road junction on the right who haven't seen the rider. Here we see our rider beginning to filter between two rows of traffic, using the opportunity to make progress. Initially, his speed relative to the traffic is good, but as the traffic slows, he fails to reduce his speed. But let's look at the extra risks our rider is being exposed to. Overhanging mirrors, vans with additional blind spots, wide vehicles up ahead, drivers changing lanes suddenly who may not have seen you, car doors opening, and the potential for pedestrians crossing. And remember, keeping your speed down will allow you time to assess and react to the risks.
Overtaking and filtering is always going to be hazardous for us. In this case, we're looking to do filtering at our earliest opportunity, but only when it's safe to do so. You've got to be always acutely aware of vehicles around you, and in this case I've got a motorcycle sitting at the rear of me. Just watch what it does now. As I slow down, it goes for the gap in between the slower moving vehicles, but look at the relative speed. It would only take one vehicle to kind of move. That Volvo there just kind of moved because of the near side junction, and now the rider's got to kind of weave past it. It's all about relative speed. On the open road, I'm looking to make some progress on this vehicle. I'm looking well ahead, making sure it's safe before I decide to overtake. I can see a junction to the offside and a vehicle starting to emerge from it. I'm waiting. I'm going to now mirror check, move out. I can now check the road surface, and I'm coming back towards the near side in plenty of time and in a safe manner. Another situation we find ourselves in, looking to make some progress and overtake the vehicle up ahead. I'm going to mirror check, move out with no increase in road speed, just to check out to make sure it's safe before I move. I can clearly see a vehicle in a parked lay-by on the offside, and it decides to start to move out of that lay-by. I abort the overtake, come back in, reassess it, mirror check, move out, and then increase road speed. The vehicle up ahead does brake, but that just shows that it's lacking in confidence as to what's going on around him. As can be seen, the road is very, very wide at this point. I'm still making good progress and looking to overtake. Up ahead we've got a vehicle that's fairly slow, and it's doing us a favour really. It's tucked into the near side, which is indicating to us that possibly we could overtake it. We don't take that for granted. I'm just sitting and waiting for a nice gap to avoid the meat in the sandwich. I put the indicator on just to let other road users know exactly what I'm doing. There's no need for me to go over the centre white line. There's enough safety margin in the width of the road.